The studio lights scorched the air at 8:12 a.m., the show humming with a restless energy nobody saw coming, when Representative Jasmine Crockett, her fire unyielding, humiliated Clint Eastwood after a heated clash on live TV, leaving the audience frozen and social media erupting with the fallout. Sources say what was pitched as a civil panel, a polite sparring match between generations, detonated into a brutal showdown. Eastwood's grizzled authority slamming into Crockett's razor-sharp resolve, a moment already branded the day's viral thunderbolt. Before we plunge into this electrifying saga, drop a comment with where you're watching from. Let's see how far this blaze spreads. The stage was set for a classic American Square morning. Oversized coffee mugs gleaming, patriotic jingles fading, the host, Daniel Everett, a man with the charisma of a spreadsheet, beaming his practiced smile. Crockett, the Texas congresswoman, known for her courtroom-honed ferocity, strode in, navy blazer crisp. A single gold pin flashing vote on her collar, her hair pulled tight, not a strand daring to stray. She wasn't nervous. She didn't do nervous. Not after years of facing rooms that called her too much before she even spoke. She settled into her chair, hands steady, eyes alert, calm but coiled. The producers nodding. She's perfect. Then came Clint Eastwood, his presence filling the studio like a storm cloud before thunder. Charcoal blazer worn like armor, handshake dry, firm, no smile, not out of spite. It just wasn't his way. Invited to discuss traditional American values, in leadership, he carried the weight of decades, his voice a gravelly drawl that silenced chatter without effort. The producers, buzzing in the green room, had begged, keep it lively, no shouting matches. Dreaming of a viral clip, not a war. Daniel opened with a generic nod. Congresswoman Crockett, you've been pushing bold reforms. Some say it's a sharp turn. What's driving you? Crockett's voice, cut clean, bold. If you're a single mom working 3 jobs, or a student drowning in debt, it's just survival. Daniel, it's common sense. The audience, a mix of locals and tourists, hummed approval. A few claps. Rippling, Clint sat still, arms crossed, eyes squinting, waiting his turn. Daniel pivoted. Clint, you've championed discipline, strength. Do you think we're losing that edge? Eastwood leaned in. Slow, deliberate, we're mistaking feelings for leadership. This country thrives on tough calls, not coddling. We've forgotten that. His words landed heavy, not loud, but final, like a gavel. Crockett glanced at him, steady, unflinching. Or maybe we're remembering what compassion looks like, she said, her voice smooth, the audience stirring, a thin tension coiling, like a wire stretched tight across the table. The clash sparked when Daniel probed. How do we bridge this divide between those who built this country and those reshaping it? Clint went first, his voice sandpaper rough. You don't bridge it by tearing down what worked. These new voices, they think every old idea is a mistake. Change for change's sake is just noise. A few claps rang out, deliberate, older. Audience members nodding. Crockett let the silence linger, just long enough to make the room shift, then countered, noise. Backbone without compassion. That's cruelty, Clint. Her eyes locked on his, no smile, the audience gasping softly. The producers in the control room whispering, this could go viral. Daniel, sensing a storm, tried to steer. Clint, you mentioned leadership's changed. Care to expand? Eastwood glanced at Crockett, his squint sharpening. Too many leaders today chase feelings, not facts. They crumble when challenged. Real leadership, it's sacrifice, doing the work, not shouting on social media, especially these young women, playing at power. The audience froze, a collective inhale. Even the camera operator flinched. Crockett's fingers tapped once on her chair, her face unreadable, not rattled, calculating. Daniel's mouth opened, no sound came, the studio air tightening, Crockett's next move poised to ignite a cultural firestorm. The studio of American Square crackled with raw tension at 8:15 a.m. The air heavy, electric, as Representative Jasmine Crockett, her fire a coiled force, sharpened her defiance after Clint Eastwood's cutting jab at young women in leadership. Her calculated response slicing through the morning calm, leaving the audience breathless, the crew on edge, the internet already stirring with whispers of her humiliation of a legend. Sources say Crockett's steely gaze, locked on Eastwood after his claim that new leaders, especially these young women, playing at power, lacked sacrifice. Sparked a clash that turned a polite panel into a cultural lightning rod, the fallout poised to explode. Crockett didn't flinch, her fingers still on her chair. Her navy blazer catching the studio lights, the gold vote pin glinting like a challenge. She let Eastwood's words hang, the silence deliberate, heavy, the audience leaning forward. A few murmurs rippling, while host Daniel Everett, his weather-app smile fading, fumbled. "Congresswoman Crockett, would you, like to respond?" In the control room, a producer hissed, "Let this breathe, don't cut," sensing a viral clip brewing. Crockett's voice came low, clear, playing at power. "Clint, I don't play, I fight, for people who've been dismissed longer than you've been a star." The audience gasped, a few claps broke out, the room splitting, some cheering, others tensing. As Eastwood's squint tightened, Eastwood leaned back, arms crossed, his charcoal blazer creasing, his silence loud like a gunslinger sizing up an opponent. Daniel, desperate to steer, stammered, "That's, a perspective. Let's unpack that." But Crockett pressed, "Unpack." He called my leadership a game. "Daniel, let's talk about what's really being played here." Her tone wasn't loud, but it cut, precise. Every word a blade, the audience stirring. Some shouting, "Go Jasmine," others whispering as stagehands exchanged glances. Headsets buzzing, "She's not backing down." A crew member muttered, "This is gonna trend," the clash slipping from civil to seismic. The fire ignited when Crockett turned to Eastwood, her eyes steady. "You talk sacrifice like it's yours alone, like my generation, my gender, hasn't bled for this country, hasn't built it." Her voice trembled, not with fear, but conviction. The audience roaring, a woman in the back yelling, "Tell him." Eastwood's brow furrowed, his voice gravelly. "I respect the fight, but leadership's not about feelings, it's results. You don't get that shouting on TV." The jab landed, sharp, but Crockett didn't blink, shouting, "I'm speaking, Clint, and the only one rattled here is you." The audience erupted, claps and gasps, colliding, X-posts already flickering, Crockett's cooking, one read, likes piling up. What fueled the blaze wasn't just Crockett's words, it was her calm. Insiders say she leaned forward, rattled. "You think calling women emotionally is wisdom? I call it lazy. The public's tired of that script." Daniel's eyes darted to the teleprompter. Useless now, as a producer whispered, "This is gold, don't interrupt." The crowd outside the studio, watching on screens, buzzed, some chanting, "Jasmine, Jasmine," others murmuring, "She's too much." While cameras zoomed in, catching Crockett's unyielding stare, Eastwood's jaw tightening. A reporter outside noted, "She's flipping the table. This isn't a debate, it's a reckoning." The moment charging toward a heart-pounding peak, Crockett's defiance building to a brutal strike. The American Square studio pulsed with a blistering energy at 8:18 a.m. The air taut, alive, as Representative Jasmine Crockett, her fire, a relentless force, amplified her defiance after Clint Eastwood's cutting dismissal of young women in leadership, her words carving through the morning haze, leaving the audience electrified, the crew scrambling, social media igniting with her humiliation of a legend. Sources say Crockett's steely vow. The public's tired of that script. After Eastwood's claim that leadership isn't about shouting on TV, turned a tense panel into a cultural crucible, her precision slicing deeper, the fallout swelling toward a seismic roar. Crockett sat poised, her navy blazer sharp under the studio lights, the gold vote pin a quiet challenge, her eyes locked on Eastwood unflinching as she continued, lazy. "You call my fight emotional, Clint, but I call your nostalgia a crutch. It's time to face the truth." Her voice was low, deliberate, each syllable a spark, the audience gasping. Some cheering, "Go, Jasmine," others murmuring, the room splitting wider as host Daniel Everett, his neutral facade cracking, stammered, "That's intense. Let's unpack this." In the control room, a producer leaned forward, "Don't cut, this is raw." The viral clip already taking shape. Eastwood, his charcoal blazer creased, leaned in, his squint sharpening, truth. "You think you're the future? Fine, but disrespecting what built this country, that's a mistake." His gravelly tone carried weight, but Crockett didn't waver. "Disrespect? I'm honoring the past by fixing its failures? You're the one stuck in a movie script." The audience roared, claps, and shouts colliding, a woman in the front row whispering. "She's not playing," as stagehands froze, headsets crackling. "She's relentless," one muttered. The scene slipping from debate to reckoning. X-posts surging, Crockett's dismantling him, trending fast. The spokesperson for the show, their voice strained, tried to intervene outside. Ms. Crockett's points are bold, but we need civility. Their plea drowned by the crowd's cheers. Some chanting, "Jasmine, Jasmine," others filming, while Crockett pressed on, "Civility." His condescension isn't civil, it's control. I'm here for the voiceless, not his approval. Her words cut clean, her tone steady, passionate, the audience surging. Some standing, others murmuring, "She's too much," as cameras caught. Every angle, the producers buzzing. This is bigger than we thought. The clash, intensifying. Crockett's fire unyielding. What turned the moment into a wildfire was Crockett's refusal to soften. Insiders say she faced Eastwood. Do you think leadership's about silence? Sacrifice? But sacrifice isn't shutting people out, it's lifting them up. Your era ignored that. Her voice trembled with conviction, not anger, the audience erupting, some sobbing, others shouting. "Tell him." Daniel, his teleprompter useless, tried to pivot. "Let's talk policy." But Crockett held the room. Policy. This is about power. Daniel, who gets to wield it, who gets to speak. The crowd roared louder, X-clips spreading. Owning Eastwood, one read, millions watching. The studio, a cauldron of raw emotion, Crockett's defiance building to a devastating strike. The American Square studio hit its emotional zenith at 8:20 a.m., the air crackling, alive, as Representative Jasmine Crockett, her fire a blazing force, unleashed a powerful, heartfelt response to Clint Eastwood's dismissal of young women. In leadership, her words searing through the morning calm, leaving the audience in awe, the crew reeling, social media exploding with her humiliation of a legend. Sources say Crockett's resolute vow, "This is about power, who gets to speak." After dismantling Eastwood's condescension, culminated in a poignant plea that shook the studio, pushing the clash closer to her bold action that stunned the nation, a moment already fueling a viral inferno. Crockett, her navy blazer sharp, the gold vote pin glinting defiantly, leaned forward, her voice trembling with conviction. Power. "You call my fight emotional, Clint, but I call it truth. I speak for those your era silenced." Her words were raw, vivid, tying her defiance to the struggles of everyday Americans. Teachers working double shifts, families crushed by debt, the audience reacting fiercely, some sobbing, others cheering, "Go Jasmine." While the show's spokesperson, their face tight, interjected outside, "Ms. Crockett, you're challenging a legend. That's a leap." Their retort firm, faltering. The crowd surging, cheers blending with gasps as stagehands froze, headsets crackling. The record holding, emotion erupting, the spokesperson pressed, "Leap. You're stirring chaos, Ms. Crockett. Let's keep it civil." Their plea, urgent, strained, but Crockett stood her ground, civil. "I carry their pain. This stage can't bury my truth." Her voice quivering, eyes glistening, the audience roaring, some chanting, "Jasmine, Jasmine," others whispering. "She's unstoppable." As phones filmed, X-posts exploding, Crockett's tearing it down, one read, trending fast. The spokesperson's tone wavered. "Truth. You're escalating, Ms. Crockett. This is serious." Their words faltering, the crowd surging, some shouting, "She's winning," others murmuring, "She's too bold," as the tide turned. The clash hit a fever pitch. Insiders say Crockett's voice soared, escalating. "My cause is their hope. Their cries live in me." Her delivery piercing, recounting systemic failures with searing clarity. The audience erupting, some standing, filming, others weeping, as Eastwood's squint hardened, his silence louder. "Hope. You're passionate, Miss Crockett," he said, voice low, grudging, the crowd roaring louder, clips hitting X instantly. Crockett's plea live, one read, racking up shares, another showing her fire. "She's a force, going viral." Millions watching, Crockett pressed, passionate. "I'm their voice, feel their fight," her resolve unshakable, the studio pulsating. Daniel Everett staring, his teleprompter useless. Let's pause," he stammered. The moment slipping beyond control, what primed Crockett's Bold action was her raw sincerity. Sources report the spokesperson outside clutched their notes. Voice: "You've challenged an icon, Ms. Crockett." Their tone a mix of respect, hesitation, as Crockett fired back. Challenged. "I'm their justice. Rethink your lens." Her words, unflinching. The crowd roaring, some rushing closer, others chanting Jasmine's truth as the spokesperson paused. "You're heard," they conceded, the clash teetering with insiders, noting she's rewriting the script. The morning hurtling toward a stunning, heart-pounding climax, Crockett's heartfelt plea, setting the stage for a move that would shock the world. The American Square studio erupted into a heart-stopping crescendo at 8:23 a.m. The air electric, searing, as Representative Jasmine Crockett, her fire and unstoppable force, unleashed a shocking, bold action to amplify her accusations against Clint Eastwood's dismissive stance on young women in leadership, transforming a morning political panel into a breathtaking spectacle that left the audience in awe. The crew reeling, social media ablaze with her humiliation of a legend. Sources say Crockett's resolute vow, "I'm their justice, rethink your lens," after swaying the spokesperson's caution, marked the turning point that led to her stunning move. A gesture that silenced the studio, a moment now fueling a viral wildfire. Crockett, her navy blazer sharp, the gold vote pin a beacon of defiance, stepped into her power, her voice fierce. "Rethink. I'll show their truth," as she pulled a tablet from her side, displaying a recorded compilation of testimonies from young women leaders, teachers, activists, mothers, declaring, "These are their voices. Clint, hear them." Her gesture bold, unprecedented, the audience reacting fiercely, some cheering wildly, others sobbing, while the show's spokesperson's eyes widened. "Ms. Crockett, this is off-script. Stop now." Their voice a mix of shock, urgency, the crowd surging, cheers blending with gasps, as stagehands stood frozen. Headsets silent, the record holding, emotion erupting. Crockett pressed forward, off-script. "Their pain demands accountability, not your nostalgia." Her words raw, piercing. As she played the compilation, voices of women sharing stories of dismissal, resilience, leadership, amplifying her accusations. The audience roaring, some chanting, "Jasmine, Jasmine," others whispering, "She's unstoppable," as phones filmed, X-posts surging. Crockett drops bombshell, one read, trending fast. The spokesperson's composure faltered. "You've made your point, Ms. Crockett. We're listening." Their voice low, reflective, the crowd erupting, some shouting, Crockett's winning, others murmuring, "She's fearless," as the tide turned. The climax shattered all restraint. Insiders say Crockett stood resolute, listening. Their hope demands justice, not your silence. Her delivery a blend of defiance, empathy. Eastwood squint wavering, his voice gruff. "Justice." "Your stunt's bold, Miss Crockett," it's noted, his tone conceding, the crowd surging. Some standing, filming, others weeping, with clips hitting X instantly. Crockett's move live. One read, racking up shares, another showing her gesture. She's a titan, going viral, millions watching. The spokesperson nodded. "We're reconsidering, Ms. Crockett. Your point's clear." Their words tentative, the studio pulsating, Crockett's action landing, their stance shifting. What primed Crockett's shocking move was her unyielding sincerity. Sources report the spokesperson stared at the tablet. "Clear. You've disrupted this narrative, Ms. Crockett," their voice carrying newfound respect, as Crockett stood firm, disrupted. "I've amplified their voices, their trust demands it." Her words final, the crowd roaring, some rushing closer, others chanting Jasmine's fire, as the spokesperson exhaled. "You've spoken, we're reflecting," their voice conceding, the clash teetering with insiders noting, "She's floored the studio." The morning hurtling toward a stunning, triumphant resolution. Crockett's bold action, the spark that humiliated Eastwood and stunned the nation. The American Square studio erupted into a soul-shattering triumph at 8:25 a.m. The air electric, transcendent, as show officials, their authority softened by awe, fully acknowledged Representative Jasmine Crockett's shocking action, displaying a recorded compilation of testimonies from young women leaders, transforming a morning political panel into a breathtaking spectacle that left the audience in awe. Crockett's resolve radiant, social media ablaze with her humiliation of Clint Eastwood. Sources say Crockett's bold declaration, "I've amplified their voices. Their trust demands it," after stunning the studio with her gesture, culminated in the official's stunning concession, "You've spoken, we're reflecting," sealing a viral moment that's already reshaping narratives. The show spokesperson, their voice heavy with acknowledgement, formalized the shift. "Ms. Crockett, your actions powerful. You've made your case." Their words deliberate, resonant. As they accepted Crockett's point, the audience reacting fiercely. Some cheering wildly, others weeping, while Crockett stood tall. "Thank you." Their voices prevailed, her voice steady, triumphant. The crowd surging, chants of "Jasmine, Jasmine," blending with sobs as stagehands stood frozen. Headsets silent, the record capturing every victorious moment. Crockett's navy blazer and gold vote pin blazing under the studio lights. Crockett's gesture reverberated. Insiders say she continued, prevailed. "Their hope fuels my fight. I carry it," her words poignant, tying her accusations to the public's demand for inclusive leadership. The spokesperson nodding noted, "Ms. Crockett, you've shifted the conversation," their tone respectful. The audience roaring, some standing, filming, others shouting, "She's unstoppable." With clips hitting X instantly, Crockett owns the stage. One read, racking up shares. Another showing her radiance. "She's a titan going viral." Millions watching. The spokesperson concluded, "We'll move forward, Ms. Crockett," their voice final, the studio pulsating. Crockett's victory sealed. The confrontation resolving, the immediate aftermath crashed like a tidal wave. Sources say Crockett stepped off the set. "I stood for them," her voice a resolute whisper. Aides guiding her through a swarm of reporters as the audience buzzed. While show officials retreated, the matters noted, their tone reflective, the crowd cheering, some still filming, others chanting "Truth served," as security cleared the area. The morning's end, a blazing triumph. Online, X exploded. Crockett humiliates Eastwood. One thread read, "Trending globally, her action lauded, the official's concession a viral marker." The fallout surged. Crockett's tweet, "Voices rise above silence," posted later, pulling 1 million likes, replies flooding. "You redefined leadership." With memes captioned, "Testimonies bury legends," flooding TikTok, Instagram, the saga's impact soared. Crockett's advocacy cemented, her influence skyrocketing, while Eastwood's silence sparked debate. Some speculating he'll clap back, others noting Crockett stole his spotlight. The clash, a cultural reset. The ripple effects are seismic. Analysts call it a turning point. Crockett rewrote the rules of debate or shattered them, one said. Talk shows eyeing bolder voices or tighter scripts. While the public splits, half roar, she exposed. A myth, half question. Was it too harsh? The moment a spark for what's next? The saga's reach stretches beyond the studio. Crockett's brand surges, her resolve unquestioned, her voice amplified, while Eastwood's next move looms, anticipated. This isn't the end, it's a beginning. Crockett's next fight, Eastwood's response, poised to ignite. So, if this story lit a fire in you, smash that subscribe button now. Don't miss the next blaze.